Your avoidant partner was all over you last night. This morning, they won't even text you back. You didn't do anything wrong. You're just witnessing something psychologists call a vulnerability hangover, and it's about to make perfect sense. When you love someone with avoidant attachment, you've probably noticed this pattern. The closer you get, the faster they run. Not because they don't care, but because intimacy literally feels like a threat to their nervous system. That beautiful moment you shared yesterday, that's exactly what triggered their panic today. I'm going to break down the entire post-intimacy withdrawal cycle, why it happens on a neurological level, and most importantly, how to protect yourself while staying grounded through each phase. Stick around, because the self-protection framework at the end will change how you see this entire dynamic. The term vulnerability hangover comes from researcher Brené Brown, and it describes that sick feeling you get after opening up to someone. You know that moment when you share something deep and then immediately regret it? For most people, that feeling fades. For avoidance, it doesn't just fade. It triggers a full-blown emotional evacuation plan. If this is already making sense to you, drop a like so I know we're on the right track here. When an avoidant person experiences intimacy, their nervous system registers it as danger. Research from attachment theory shows that avoidants developed their patterns in childhood when emotional closeness led to disappointment or overwhelm. So their brain literally learned that vulnerability equals pain. Fast forward to adulthood, and even positive intimacy can activate that same threat response. In the book Attached, psychiatrist Dr. Amir Levine and psychologist Rachel Heller explain that avoidants have what they call deactivating strategies. The moment they feel too close, their brain hits the emergency brake. And the withdrawal you're seeing isn't personal. It's their nervous system trying to restore what they perceive as safety. Now, here's what you need to understand before we go further. Understanding this cycle isn't permission to tolerate pain. It's clarity, so you can choose what's healthy for you. Too many people learn about attachment styles and use it to excuse behavior that hurts them. Don't do that. The 3 phases of the withdrawal cycle. Phase 1, the high. You have an amazing date. They open up about their childhood. You have incredible physical intimacy. They tell you they're falling for you. In that moment, they mean it. Dr. Stan Tatkin, founder of the psychobiological approach to couple therapy, describes how avoidants can temporarily connect when they feel safe enough. But here's where most people make a mistake. They feel the connection and immediately try to lock it down. They overshare. They lean harder emotionally. Don't do this. Stay warm, not fused. Let the connection breathe. Connection isn't a contract. It's a moment. Let it be enough. Phase 2, the crash. Usually within hours or by the next morning, reality sets in for them. They start replaying everything they said and did. Their internal dialogue sounds like, "I shared too much. I'm too exposed. I need space." Now you're seeing the behavior that brought you here. The texts get shorter. They're suddenly busy. Plans get vague. They might even pick a fight over something random to create distance. And here's the cruel part. The better the connection was, the harder they pull away. This is their nervous system dysregulation. Research using brain imaging shows that when avoidants think about intimacy, the parts of their brain associated with threat detection become more active. Their amygdala, the fear center, responds to closeness similarly to how it responds to actual danger. But here's what you need to know. This is where your anxious attachment is going to scream at you to chase. Every cell in your body will want to reach out, Ask if everything's okay, or try to fix whatever you think you broke. Do not do this. Your pursuit will make their withdrawal worse. Here's what you should do instead. Pause. Regulate your own nervous system. Don't react from panic. No emotional interrogations. You send one message and then you pull your energy back. Something like, "Hey, I enjoyed our time. I'm around when you are." That's it. Then you go live your life. Phase 3. The meaning making. This is the phase where most people completely lose themselves. You're sitting in the silence they created, and your brain is going crazy trying to make sense of it. You start questioning everything. Was any of it real? Did I say too much? Am I too much? Stop. Your job is not to prove you're safe enough for someone else's fear. You are not responsible for managing their trauma response by shrinking yourself or walking on eggshells, or becoming perfect enough that they finally feel safe. That's their work, not yours. Don't decide your worth in the gap. Don't let their withdrawal define your value. The research shows that with conscious effort and therapy, avoidants can rewire these patterns. But you can't do that work for them. Here's the rule that will save you years of confusion. If someone repeatedly connects, then withdraws without repair, the pattern becomes the relationship. Not the good moments, not the potential you see in them, the pattern. So you need to start asking different questions. When they come back, and many of them will come back once their nervous system calms down, are they returning with accountability? Do they acknowledge the pattern? Are they taking any steps to work on it, like therapy or reading about attachment, or even just communicating differently? Or do they just act like nothing happened and wait for the next high? Are they growing, or are they repeating? Because attachment style is never an excuse for bad behavior. You can have avoidant attachment and still communicate. You can need space and still treat your partner with respect. The difference is effort. If months or years go by with the same exact cycle and zero accountability, you're not in a relationship with potential. You're in a relationship with a pattern. This isn't about giving ultimatums or trying to force someone to be ready when they're not. This is about knowing what you need and being honest about it. Here's what that sounds like. I value closeness and consistency. I'm open to something that grows. If you're not there yet, I respect that, but I can't live in limbo. You're not begging. You're not chasing. You're stating what you need and giving them the space to decide if they can meet you there. And if they can't, that's valuable information. The more secure you become in yourself, the less their patterns will destabilize you. And sometimes that clarity helps you see when it's time to walk away. Because here's what nobody wants to hear. You cannot love someone into security. You can support their growth, but they have to do the work. Vulnerability hangovers are real. The post-intimacy withdrawal cycle is a documented pattern in attachment research. But understanding it doesn't mean accepting it as a permanent condition in your relationship. You don't need to be chosen by someone who is still running from themselves. You need someone who can stay. What's the hardest phase for you in this cycle? The high, where you're trying not to get too attached? The crash, where they disappear? Or the meaning-making phase, where you're questioning everything about yourself? Drop it in the comments, because I think understanding where we struggle most can help us protect ourselves better. If you found value in this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.